Hi, this video is about Google Maps SEO, specifically how to get your Google My Business page suspended. I'm going to talk about the common ways to get listings suspended. I've seen a lot of these happen. And then I'm also going to talk about one common way that I've never really heard anybody else talk about. But it is it's a really good way to get it suspended and be very frustrated at why can't I get it back up. And it's actually a pretty simple fix, but a lot of people do it wrong. I've actually done this wrong several years ago, and it took me forever to figure it out. So I'm just going to tell it to you in this video. And also, basically, yeah, the idea is to not get your listings suspended, and so it's how to set everything up properly so that they don't get suspended. So if you don't know what a Google My Business page is, or a GMB, I'm going to call it GMB from now on. If you search like Dallas electrician, Google My Business pages are absolutely critical for ranking in Google. What first shows up are ads, and like studies have shown like 85% of people never click on ads. Our brains just like skip right over them. This is sort of a new thing, so it does stand out right now, but I suspect the longer they leave it there, the more people will skip over it. And this is the first, what I would consider to be the first organic listing. A lot of people don't consider maps to be organic. I don't really think that, because I think organic is everything that's non-ads, but whatever. This shows up as the first thing that is below the maps that is a non-ads listing. And in order to rank here, you need a verified Google My Business page, or one that is not suspended. And so behind all of these are Google My Business pages, sort of like the front-facing part of it. And so in order to rank here and take this traffic, you need a verified Google My Business page. And I have experience with like clients that have done things wrong and come to me, and they have said, I used to rank here, and then it got suspended, and I lost a lot of money, because these things can make a lot of money for sure. About me, my name's David Hood, and I've been doing SEO for quite some time. I made well over $1 million with SEO, and I'm on a mission to help 10,000 people make their first $1 million online. Now, I've actually tested this quite thoroughly. I've run a lot of Google My Business tests and kind of pushed the limits to see, what would happen. And I've gotten some suspended, and I've gotten the vast majority of them reinstated. And so I think I understand this on a pretty high level compared to the average person out there looking at Google My Business pages. I won't claim to like be the most knowledgeable person at all from here on out on all time on Google My Business pages. They're all always changing how they do this, but it's still a really important part of any sort of local business. So here's the worst thing that you can do. This is the easiest way to get things suspended, and it is to keyword stuff your Google My Business page. And I have a handy picture down here of a way too fat chicken. Okay, and this is sort of this is a really good analogy actually, because it's just like, you don't want to be too skinny, but you also don't want to be too fat. So let's say you've got a guy who's running a plumbing company. His name's Joe. And a bad Google My Business page, business name, I'm sorry, the keyword stuff, the Google My Business page, let's see, business name. So this would actually be, let's scroll up here. So electrician on call, that's the business name. Dallas Landscape Lighting, that's the Electricians of Dallas LLC. These are the business names in the Google My Business page. Okay. Okay. So if you were to do Joe's company, that's bad. Not from a suspension standpoint, but from a ranking in Google standpoint. Your Google My Business page really matters a lot to what you rank for. And so a better business name would be Joe's Plumbing Company. So you have plumbing in there, which is the kind of the base keyword, where it gives you a lot of relevancy for plumbing. A bad one, and it's bad from a suspended standpoint. It's actually good from an SEO standpoint. So what I've seen in the past is when people do this, they actually rank really well at first, and it drives a lot of traffic until they get either reported by a competitor or just reviewed, and then it gets suspended. Okay, because this is definitely against the terms of service. You're supposed to only put your business name in there. Now, there is sort of technically you're not supposed to put your city in there. You could do this, and that would probably, that's still technically that you're not supposed to, but in my experience, this has never gotten something suspended by putting just the city name on there. Especially if you have multiple locations, you can say, well, this is the name of the location. You know, there's no reason. I mean, there's plenty of businesses that have the name of the location in there, but you can't just put up, you know, all your keywords in your business name and expect it to stay up for an extended period of time. And you might also think, well, why don't I just, you know, get the good while it's going, or get the goods while I can, and then once I get suspended, rename it to this and get it back. The problem with that is that there's a lot. Once you try to get it back to this, it's going to be a lot harder to rank. It's going to require a whole lot of work and a lot of cleanup elsewhere on the internet. That is a lot of work. So, you know, it's better to name it something good from the beginning and be good with it. So this is going to be the worst thing that you can do. And a lot of people are generally aware of this. And it's also kind of niche by niche. Some niches, some markets are going to be, you're going to be able to put more keywords in there than others. All right, and so it's sort of it kind of depends on your situation. Okay, so here's not commonly known one, and I do want you to, hopefully by reading this, you can promise to not to keep this generally secret. I haven't heard anybody else talk about this stuff that I'm going to talk about right now. And so really the main idea here is that what's in your Google My Business page doesn't match the Google My Business URL. What's on the Google My Business URL? So what's the Google My Business URL? Let's scroll back up here. So if I were to click this website, most of the time it's going to go to the home page, but a lot of times it's going to go to an inner page, especially if you're doing it right. And if that page doesn't match the name and the business name, the phone number, and the address that's in the Google My Business page, that's another way you can get suspended. I have dealt with support people at Google with this a lot, and sometimes there's a good reason to have other information on there, but they don't care. And so, for example, you can have multiple locations on one page. This is one of the biggest mistakes that people make here. So, for example, here's a situation I encountered. There was a corporate location that was in the footer, and then I had a secondary location that I had an inner page. So I put the proper secondary location in the page, and then in the footer I had the corporate location. So and I could not. It was, man, I had a hell of a time getting that listing reinstated. Because at first they wouldn't tell me what was going on. They wouldn't tell me that this was an issue. And to me, it's kind of silly that it's an issue, but they're super strict about this. You cannot have, if it's that secondary location, the Google My Business page for that secondary location, you cannot have the other location, any of that information on there. Okay, it has to be completely separate. You have to remove it from the footer for that separate page, and a good developer should be able to do that for you. And this is similar, you know, if you have multiple locations and put both locations on the same page, that's going to be a problem. And really, I'm not sure about the business name. I think that they're a little bit more lax about that, but I would recommend you go ahead and do that. The exact business name at least once somewhere on your page, and then your phone number and address on the page as well. And that's a lot more strict because that's a lot easier to check. They can, if for example you have, you're in your Google My Business page, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then on your website you have 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 0, 9, 8, 7. Okay, this is a good way to get your listing suspended. Okay. It is possible to have, so this is in GMB, and this is on page. It is possible if you have multiple phone numbers, this should probably be okay. I would avoid this if you can, for various reasons, not just from SEO standpoint. I would highly recommend that you go ahead and remove this just in case. You never know when they're going to change how they deal with this stuff. So hopefully this is really helpful to you. And definitely, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions about this, please put a comment below. I will do my best to respond as soon as I can. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.